Welcome back to the online classes. I hope you have written the question answers of the poem, the ball poem. Today I'm going to take the new chapter from the book First Flight, lesson 4 from the diary of Anne Frank. You all know about Anne Frank, who she was. She was a writer, not exactly. She was a German girl during the Nazi attack. She and her family was captured and they were taken to the concentration camps, and there she died. But when she was in a hiding place, she wrote a diary. So this is just a part from that diary. So let us go through the chapter, and I will explain the lesson paragraph wise. So listen carefully. We shall start. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on, neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. Now, Anne Frank, she just starts saying that she does not have any experience about writing the uh, diary, and she never thinks that people will enjoy reading her diary because she's just the 13 years old schoolgirl. So, but she feels that it doesn't matter whether somebody likes it or not, but she will write because she wants to write it. She loves to write. Paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. I finally stayed where I was, brooding. Yes, paper does have more patience. And since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stuff baked notebook grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. Now, she says that she had read somewhere the saying, paper has more patience than people. And of course, it's true. You can write anything on the paper, you can do anything on the paper or with the paper. Paper will not say anything to you, paper will not show any kind of anger to you, or paper will not become enemy of you. It will just take on whatever you do on the paper or with the paper. Whereas to the people, if you say something to them, or if you have a grudge with them, or if you take revenge on them, then they will also do the same thing. So the people do not have much patience, right? So she also says that it is good. So one of the days, she says, her experience she's sharing. She says that one day she was all alone, she was at home, and she was thinking what to do to go out, to play, or sit inside. She was getting bored. There was nothing to do for her. So she was just wandering, trying to, what you call, look out, what to do. She was just spending her time simply sitting there. Finally, she decided, let us take the paper, that is her diary, and write something, scribble something on the diary. So she thought of it, and went on. She said, till I get the real friend, I will not have any problem with that. Till I get the real friend, I will write in this diary. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. Now she comes and tells us the truth, that why she has chosen diary in the first place, because she do not have any friend, and that's the reason that she had opted for diary and started writing her own experiences or her own imaginations in the diary. Let me put it more clearly. Since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. No, on the surface, I seem to have everything except my one true friend. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other. In any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately, there are not they are not liable to change. This is why I have started the diary. Now, she says that it is not the only reason that she does not have friend because of which she had decided to write the diary. She has got loving parents, loving sister, loving, caring aunties. Okay, all of them are there in the family. She has got a beautiful home where she lives, and all around her there is a lot of love, caring, gentleness, everything. But she says that she is not having a particular friend. She is not having a person to whom she can, share her feelings, her imaginations, a friend with whom she could play around. No, so because all other people were busy in their own life. Mother busy in kitchen, dad busy in his office or work. Sister, she's grown up, 16 years old, so she is busy with her own friends and helping mother. Aunties, all of them are busy. So there is no one who could come and sit with her, talk to her, play with her, no, or ask her about things, no. So she was totally alone. So she felt that I am all alone. There is no one of my age, and that's the reason that she started writing diary. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do, but I want the diary to be my friend, and I am going to call this friend Kitty. Now she tells that what type of diary she needs. She doesn't want a diary, where people just note down things or just point out things that what happened, on this day. That 7:30 I woke up, 8 o'clock I had a breakfast, 9 o'clock I went to the office, no, or went to the school. Not that sort of thing. She wanted to have a diary who could speak to her, who could talk to her, who could bring out her imaginations, and that's the reason she did not call her. She did not consider the diary as itself. Okay, she thought of giving the diary a name, and so that it could give her a feeling of a human thing, no, kind of a friend type. So that's the reason that she gave the diary the name Kitty. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty, if I were to plunge right in, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. So she says, Anne Frank says that before writing the diary, I just want to give a brief story of myself, that is of Anne Frank. She want to share her about her family, about herself, how when she was born and all those things. No, she just wanted to give a small history, a small background of her own family. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born in on 12 June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father emigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margot went to Holland in December, and I followed in February, when I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margot. Now, she says that her father, of course, everybody's father, whether it's you, me, or anybody for that matter, everybody's father is adorable father. I don't think that anyone would say that he hates his father, right? So everybody loves. So same way, Anne Frank, for her, father was an adorable person, and she says that he did not marry till he was 36, and her mother 25. So they got married, and they got first child, the girl child Margot, who was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. Anne Frank was born on 12th June 1929. Okay, so there is a 3 years difference, right? First, they lived in Frankfurt, especially Anne Frank, for 4 years, and from there they went to Holland in 1933. Now, when they went to Holland, father, mother, and what do you call? They went early first there to settle down, to find the house and all those things and get ready with everything. And in month of September, Margot went there. Anne Frank stayed there with her grandmother. Now, in December, what do you call? In December, when Margot's birthday was in month of February, she went. Anne Frank went to where there's a Frankfurt, from Frankfurt to Holland. So she went there on in month of February. It was a birthday. It was birthday of Margot. So she felt that Margot was given a present, birthday present to Margot as a birthday gift. I started right away at the Montessori nursery school. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the sixth form, my teacher was Mrs. Cupress, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell. Now, Anne Frank, started going to school in Montessori nursery school, and there she stayed there. At that time, she was 6 years old, and her mistress, she was also very good, Mrs. Cupress. She loved Anne Frank very much, and it was almost outbreaking for both of them. They both started weeping, started crying, because Anne Frank was going back to Holland, so stopping the school from in Frank and going there. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation, so my birthday passed with little celebration. Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and Grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20 June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. So, in summer 1941, Grandma, Anne Frank's grandma, fell sick and she had to go undergo an operation. So, because of that, Anne Frank's birthday was not celebrated grandly, just small way, a little way, they celebrated. In January 1942, Grandma expired, and again, what do you call, nobody said, because since she died, so the birthday was not celebrated grandly again, it was a simple way, and candle was burned in the name of Grandma. Now, in her family, there were only four people: Anne Frank, Margot, her sister, and her parents. Only these four people were there, and that is the history of her background. Why she chose diary, Katie, to write her experience, her feelings in the diary, and that's the date she gives. That is the 20th June 1942. She started writing the diary. Okay, friends, enough for today. Rest of the chapter I'll come tomorrow. So for your homework, you see there are some questions. Okay, above 3 questions and below also 3 questions are there. So please, you try to answer them. I will give the answers later on once the chapter is finished. So go through the chapter, find out the difficult words, and write them in your copy. So stay home, stay safe, have a nice day.